Imagine this. You meet a woman who instantly captivates you. She's funny, intelligent, and has this energy that makes you feel alive. From the start, you decide you're going to treat her like gold. You buy flowers, you plan thoughtful dates, you text her every morning and every night. You do everything you've been told women want. At first, things seem promising. She smiles, she laughs, she thanks you for being such a gentleman. But then, something changes. She begins to pull back. Her texts get shorter, her enthusiasm fades, and suddenly you feel like you're the only one trying. You wonder, why would she lose interest when I'm giving her everything? The answer might surprise you. It's not that kindness or effort is wrong. It's that attraction doesn't thrive in certainty. What makes love exciting, what keeps her invested, is just a little bit of mystery. Women, whether they realize it or not, are often drawn to men who don't make everything obvious, who keep them guessing just enough to spark curiosity. Now, before we go any further, let's make something crystal clear. This isn't about playing games, being manipulative, or acting like someone you're not. It's about understanding the psychology behind attraction. Because when you understand what actually fuels attraction, you stop sabotaging yourself by giving too much too soon. Think about it this way. Attraction is less about logic and more about emotion. It's not built in spreadsheets or checklists. It lives in feelings. And feelings are stirred by uncertainty, by excitement, by challenge. A relationship where everything is guaranteed from the start might feel safe, but safe doesn't always feel exciting. This dynamic goes deeper than modern dating. It's rooted in biology. Thousands of years ago, women didn't survive by choosing the man who was the nicest. They survived by choosing men who could protect them, who could provide, who showed strength and confidence. This subconscious wiring, sometimes called hypergamy, still runs in the background today. Now, of course, women today aren't looking for hunters or warriors, but the instincts remain. When a man seems too eager, too available, or too desperate for validation, her subconscious brain reads that as, "This man may not be the best choice." On the flip side, when a man carries himself with calm confidence, when he doesn't instantly hand over all his energy, her instincts tell her, "This is a high-value man." It's not about money, status, or physical perfection. It's about the vibe you project. Let's use a simple analogy. Imagine dating as a marketplace. Everyone has what we might call market value. Now, this isn't about ranking people like products. It's about perception. Value is communicated through how you treat yourself, how you carry yourself, and how others respond to you. If a man signals through his actions that he's desperate for approval, his value drops in her eyes. But a man who signals abundance, who acts as if he could walk away if things don't align, that man's value rises. And human nature is simple. People chase what they perceive as valuable. I'll share a story that illustrates this. There was a man, let's call him Adam. Adam had everything society tells men they need. A great job, a nice car, a fit body. He was generous and attentive. When he dated women, he pulled out all the stops. Lavish dinners, constant compliments, and 24/7 availability. And yet, strangely, women would grow distant after just a few weeks. Then there was another man, let's call him Daniel. Daniel didn't have much. He worked as a bartender. His life was modest. But Daniel had something Adam didn't, an energy of confidence and playfulness. He didn't rush to respond to every text. He didn't drown women in flattery. He teased, he laughed, and he seemed completely comfortable whether a woman was in his life or not. And women? They couldn't get enough of him. Why? Because Daniel projected abundance. He made women feel they had to earn his attention. Adam, for all his effort, made women feel like they were the prize he couldn't live without. And the truth is, when you treat someone like they're the prize, they'll start to believe you're not. Here's where mystery comes into play. When everything about you is predictable, when you always text first, when you always say yes, when you always rearrange your schedule just to see her, there's no curiosity left. She knows exactly where she stands, and while that might feel romantic to you, to her brain it feels flat. On the other hand, when you're just a little less predictable, she starts to wonder, what's he doing right now? Why didn't he reply right away? Does he like me as much as I like him? That wondering, that mental energy is where attraction grows. This isn't about ignoring her or playing cold. It's about leaving space for curiosity. Think of it like a fire. Too much wood smothers the flames. The right amount keeps it burning. So how do you apply this without becoming manipulative? Imagine you meet a woman and you hit it off. Most guys, excited by the chemistry, will text the very next day with something like, "You're incredible. When can I see you again?" On the surface, this seems sweet, but in reality, it's too much too soon. Instead, wait a day or two. Then send a confident, simple message. Coffee Thursday, 2 p.m. No gushing, no desperation. Just direct and relaxed. This taps into a psychological principle known as intermittent reinforcement. People are more engaged when rewards are not always predictable. If your attention is constant and guaranteed, it loses value. If it's present but slightly unpredictable, it feels precious. One of the biggest reasons relationships lose spark is predictability. In the beginning, everything is exciting because you don't know what's coming next. Every text feels like a surprise. Every date feels like an adventure. But over time, if everything falls into routine, the excitement fades. The man who tries to be the perfect boyfriend, who follows the script too closely, often ends up feeling boring. On the other hand, men who keep a little unpredictability, who introduce novelty, who stay spontaneous, tend to keep the flame alive. This is why so-called bad boys seem to hold women's attention. It's not about being mean. It's about being unpredictable enough to keep things exciting. Here's another piece of the puzzle. Women test men. Sometimes consciously, often unconsciously. She might cancel plans last minute, she might mention another guy, or she might pull back emotionally. These aren't random. They're ways of checking. Does this man need my approval? Will he collapse if I withdraw? If you panic, chase, or beg for reassurance, you fail the test. But if you stay calm, if you accept the situation and continue with your life, you pass. Passing shows her you don't depend on her validation. You choose her, but you don't need her. That's what makes you magnetic. Here's what's fascinating. Once a woman realizes she doesn't fully have you, her behavior changes. She starts to invest more. She stops dropping hints and begins saying things directly. I miss you. When can I see you? Her instincts kick in, telling her, I need to lock this man down before someone else does. That's when you flip the dynamic. You're no longer chasing. She's choosing to chase you.